What's up, geometry? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. This is going to be lesson 10.6, part 2, where we just talk about segment lengths. So in the previous lesson, we talked about how to find the lengths of your angle measurements using tangents. So now what we're going to do is just talk about segment lengths using tangents, chords, and secants. And we're going to start here. So intersecting chords on the inside of a circle can be found if we take A times B and set it equal to C times D. So we're really kind of just building the cross products of a proportion, because the way that the secants, chords, and tangents are showing up here is they're going to be proportional to one another within that circle. Intersecting secants outside of the circle, you want to think about this as part to whole is equal to part to whole. So A times A plus B, and keep in mind A is a part of the line where A plus B is the whole line, is equal to C times C plus D. Okay, so there'll be some tricks to that as well. So we want to make sure we show good steps here. And then when you have an intersecting tangent and a secant outside of the circle, that can be found by doing A times A, or A squared, is equal to part times whole again. So B times B plus C. So that's a good starting point for our notes here. So make sure you have those filled in, and then let's get ready to try some questions very similar to that. So example 1, we're going to start nice and easy. This is the intersection of two chords within the circle, and all we're going to do is set your opposite lines across from one another equal. So I'm going to do x times 10 is equal to 14 times 15. X times 10 is 10x. 14 times 15 is 210, so that means x is 21. At any point in time, you can always pause the video and try these on your own, and then click play whenever you're ready. The next one, we're going to try to find TQ. So the first thing we need to do is find x. So I'm going to set my lines, how they're sectioned off, equal to one another. I'm going to start with 18 times 2x minus 5, and then 14 times 2x plus 1. So 18 times 2 is 36x, 18 times 5 is 90, and then 14 times 2 is 28x, 14 times 1 is 14. I'm going to get all my x's to the same side, so I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides, add 90 to the other side. You're going to end up getting 8x equaling 104. So x is equal to 13. So now I'm going to go back and plug that in to TQ. So 2 times 13 plus 1, or 26 plus 1, is 27. Next up, we have example 3. So this one is that intersecting secants outside of the circle. So remember, this is part to whole. So 9 is the part, and then the whole would be 9 plus x is equal to 8 is the part times the whole, 8 plus 19. Okay. 8, you can either do one of two things here. You can distribute. So 8 times 8 is 64, and 8 times 19 is 152. Or you could add 8 plus 19 and then times it by 8. Either way, you're going to get 216. And then on this side, we would do 9 times 9 is 81, and 9 times x is 9x. So I have 81 plus 9x is equal to 216. Subtract 81 from both sides. We're going to end up getting 9x is equal to 135. And then dividing by 9, x is equal to 15. Okay. Example 4, also solving for x. So again, part to whole, part to whole. If you want to pause, this would be a good idea to try this one on your own, and when you're ready to check, click play. Otherwise, let's get started. So part to whole, 8 times 8 plus 3x plus 4. So we got a lot of steps here to show. And then the second portion, 7 times the whole thing, 7 plus 5x plus 2. Obviously, you can go ahead and combine like terms. So 8 And then combining like terms would be 12 plus 3x, because 8 plus 4 is 12. And then on this side, I'm going to combine 7 and 2, so 7 parentheses 9 plus 5x. And then let's go and distribute. 8 times 12 is 96, 8 times 3x is 24x, 7 times 9 is 63, 7 times 5x is 35x. Subtracting my x's, and then subtracting 63, we're going to end up with 33 is equal to 11x. So to solve for x equals 3. For example 5, we're going to solve for x first and then find Pn. So this is going to be that example, the third option, intersecting tangent and secants outside of the circle. So we'll take 16 squared first and set it equal to part to whole. So 8 times 8 plus 5x minus 1. 16 squared is 256. And then combine like terms within this parentheses, 8 minus 1 is 7. So 7 plus 5x. Then we're going to distribute. That's one method you could try. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 5x is 40x. Subtract 56 from 256. I'm going to get 200 is equal to 40x. So x is equal to 5. So now let's plug that in to find Pn. So 5 times 5 minus 1, or 25 minus 1 gives me 24. Solving for x in number 6, if you want to pause this one and try it on your own, that'd be great. When you're ready, click play. All right, for this one, we're going to take x squared is equal to 27 part times the whole 27 plus 21. 27 plus 21 is 48, so I'm just doing, excuse me, 27 times 48, which is 1,296. And then to solve for x, we're going to have to just take the square root of both of these. So x is equal to 36. Okay. Question 7. Here is where we're still seeing that intersection inside of the circle. So across from one another, we have 12 times 10 is equal to x plus 6 and x minus 1. So we're going to get a nice trinomial here, x squared minus 1x plus 6x minus 6, or x squared plus 5x minus 6, and that's equal to 120. I'm going to subtract 120 from both sides. So now we have 0 is equal to x squared plus 5x minus 126. So this is where we want to factor this trinomial. Two numbers that have a product of negative 126 but have a sum of 5. So I got those two numbers from here. Product is the negative 126 and sum is the 5x. Those two numbers are going to be negative 9 and 14. Negative 9 times 14 gives me negative 126, and negative 9 plus 14 gives me the sum of 5. So I would have x minus 9 and x plus 14 as my two options, setting equal to 0. So I'm going to solve each one. The only thing is when I solve one of them, I'm going to get x is equal to 9, and then this one, I'm going to get x is equal to negative 14. When you're thinking about plugging in negative 14 to this, negative 14 plus 6 gives me a negative 8. And unfortunately, when we talk about using distance, we can't have a negative distance. So the only true option here would be 9, because negative, we can't measure distance with that negative. Okay, and then example 8, again, if you want to try this one on your own, try it, pause it, and then click play when you're ready. Otherwise, let's try this together. We are going to square the x plus 5 and set that equal to 12 times the whole thing, 12 plus 15. X plus 5 squared is x plus 5 times x plus 5. And then over here, I can do 12 plus 15, which is 27. Foiling x plus 5 times x plus 5, I'm going to get x squared plus 10x plus 25. I just did first, outer, inner, last. And then 12 times 27 is 324. Subtracting 324. I'm going to get x squared plus 10x minus 299 is equal to 0. And again, I'm looking for a product of negative 299, but with a sum of 10. Those two numbers are going to be negative 13 and a positive 23. So x minus 13 and x plus 23 setting equal to 0. So I'm going to scooch up here because I'm running out of room. That means x can be 13 or x can be negative 23. And since we're dealing with distance here, our one true answer would be positive 13 because a negative cannot be measured with distance. Those are really tricky because those are using what we learned at the beginning of the chapter. Hopefully that gives you an idea though of how to combat those types of questions. If not, I would go back to 10.0 in this playlist just so you can see the algebraic review we did. Otherwise, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Have a great day, geometry.